I'm a little more prepared for it because I knew I was doing it. It's when you come here and you see people you haven't seen in quite some time, especially this crowd. It brings back a lot of memories. Long before there were guys who played softball like Johnny Cologi and Richie Scow and Kevin Russo and many others. There was a guy by the name of Charlie Duffy who lived in Westport and grew up playing softball in the 60s and 70s. Again, his information is in the booklet, and you can read it. I'm not going to waste your time
The waitress got
reading that to you. But Charlie was one of the best all-around softball players in the state of Connecticut back in the 60s and in the 70s. Most of you who played in the 80s and the 90s, you remember Charlie as Sonny DiMattio's right-hand man on the team Sonny's out of Westport. I wasn't born yet when he was playing. So I had to make a phone call to find out just what type of player Charlie was. I had an idea what type of player he was. I know an extremely good friend and mentor he was to me and other people on the Sonny's team in the 80s and the 90s. But I had to give Mike Calise Jr. A call out in Arizona. Mike Calise Jr., his father, Mike Calise Sr., and their Mike's brother Dominic Calise. They're all members of the, back then it was the ASA, Slow Pitch Softball Hall of Fame. And I had to have Mike Jr. give me some information, and I'm just gonna read it pretty much for word. I had to take a couple of, for those of you who know Mike Calise, I had to take a couple of words out of it. I first saw Charlie play in 1963 with Club Grill out of Westport. Charlie quickly became the original member of their core four, which included himself, Mike Calise Sr., the late Donnie Beeling, and the late Sonny DiMattio. Now all members of the USA Connecticut Softball Hall of Fame. Club Grill had the quickest three-man outfield I had ever seen in softball. Charlie left, Beans Dooley in center, Donnie Beeling in right, and his father, Mike Calise Sr., was the roving outfielder. He didn't play four, he played three and moved the guy around almost like the five-man infield like these young guys play these days, which is a badass part of the game now if you ever went and watched it. In the 70s, that same core four people continued to dominate softball at Greens Farms Field in Westport. And Sonny's softball team dynasty of the 70s and the 80s was born. These are quotes from Mike Calise Jr. Charlie was an outstanding defensive outfielder, one of the best in the state during the 60s and the 70s. He possessed a strong and accurate throwing arm, was clutch with the bat, and could run the bases like a deer. In addition, Charlie was a loyal teammate, a friend, a mentor, and simply one of the best men I've ever known. The Calise family passes on its congratulations and let us know when you want that rattlesnake delivered. Inside joke, Charlie hates snakes. And they send their love. I had the opportunity to start playing for Sonny's in the 80s. And Charlie was a tremendous mentor. When you're 16 years old and you're playing on the field with men in their 30s, 16-year-old sees and hears things they're not supposed to. You were, Charlie, a tremendous mentor to me. Dougie Beeling, Richie Scow, Gabby, Johnny Cologi down there, and many others. Not only were you a great mentor, you're a good friend, and you continue to be a good friend this day. The things that you taught me on the field gave me success in life, in my personal life, and my professional life, and I'm so grateful to that, because those successes would have probably never happened if our paths didn't cross. This time, hey, Jimmy Pellegrino, everybody! Hold on, we'll work that out. Where the hell am I? Where was I?
Jimmy!
And so, obviously, you know, you got a sense of the type of person that Charlie Duffy is. And with that, it is my honor and it's a pleasure to introduce Charlie Duffy into the Connecticut USA Softball Hall of Fame.
Turn the mic on.
Speak up.
Turn it off.
I'd like to say thank you to the committee for all of this award. I'd like to congratulate all my children for honorees, especially Bobby Gabinelli, who I played with for years. We had a lot of good times, we made a lot of trips together, and I'll always remember them all. I started with Club Grill, I worked my way up to Sonny. He approached me one year to come and play for his team. I was honored. Quite a lot. We played as many as 160 games a year. We were on the road all the time. He bought 2 limos. We went through 2 airport limos. 12, 14 guys piled in a limo and we went all over the place. We played from Canada to Florida, to Kentucky, to Texas, to Oklahoma, to Ohio. You name it, Georgia, we were there. We loved the game, we had a lot of friends. From this, I learned how to be a friend to a lot of people. Softball was very good to me. It gave me a lot of enjoyment, a lot of pleasure. I wish if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing. I'd like to take this opportunity to say the 3 of my friends who are no longer here, Johnny Beelan, Tom Pettit, and Sonny DiMaggio. I know they're here in spirit. They were true friends. It passed quite too early. I could have a 60-minute speech here, but my good friend Ed Backus, who just turned 93, has me on the clock. You don't know where, if he gets me off, he'll move me off the diet. I want to thank my family for being here. My brothers, my sisters, my cousins, my nephews, everybody. It means so much more with this award to have you here, and I cherish this moment. My nephews called me from Arizona, from Florida, and all over the place, and it's just an honor to be here tonight with all the recipients. And a final thank you to all my friends who took the time out today to come and honor this, and have this honor with me. It is indeed a pleasure. It makes the award so much more rewarding, and I shall not forget your generosity to this day. I really appreciate you being here. Congratulations to all. Be kind to